Hey YouTube, this is Southern Purple 1 and welcome to Boots on the Ground. If you have anything you can offer, send it to southernpurple1@yahoo.com. I'll put the link in the description. Also, it's pouring rain, so hopefully you don't hear the rain, but let's get right into it. FEMA is seeking leaders for a Youth Preparedness Council, and they can turn in an application. Do you know a young leader who is passionate about making a positive impact on their community? The Federal Emergency Management Agency is looking for students in grade 8 through 12 interested in supporting disaster preparedness to join the Youth Preparedness Council. Why is it important for youth to apply? FEMA created the Youth Preparedness Council in 2012 to bring together young leaders from across the country who are interested in disaster preparedness and community service. It says during this term, UPC members can make a difference in their community, gain valuable leadership and emergency management experience, and work with like-minded peers to help strengthen preparedness. It goes on, spread the word, how to apply. Just interesting to see that, because normally anything on the preparedness side, they make fun of us. And I'm proud to call myself a prepper. I think in a few years, there'll be a lot of millions and millions and millions of Americans wishing they were preppers now when things were readily available and cheap. A major healthcare company has confirmed layoffs in Texas, and this is Extensioned. And they didn't provide a lot of detail. They were just saying that layoffs are taking place. There was a maternity center at one of their hospitals closed, and it will affect 68 jobs, which includes 62 registered nurses and 6 other positions. Layoffs in the healthcare industry are definitely getting many more are popping up. I guess they're trying to make as much money as possible, and a lot of positions are being eliminated, which is surprising to me because the population is just getting older and older. Here is an unexpected win for paper products, as digital is increasingly not as popular. Sales of paper maps are booming. A big picture of AAA produces 123% more maps in 2022 than in 2021. So a lot of people are looking. Now some of these maps are being put on the wall. But I'm a big fan of maps. Owner of Map Shop in Charlotte, North Carolina, said he has sales rising 20 to 30% every year. So get your maps. If the computers go down, your phones go down, GPS goes down, you're going to be lost. This is from Fairfax, Virginia. BJ's online orders of consumables, dairy, meat, frozen products, soap, toilet paper, etc. In the 5th month, the 21st day of 2021, 31 items were purchased and they cost $303. On the 24th of this year, so probably a year and a half difference, the same 31 products were $433. So that is about a 43% increase during that time. The only items that didn't go up in price was the 50-50 organic salad mix, and 25-pound bags of rice only went up 20 cents. This comes from a German general has issued a public warning that the war on Ukrainian battlefield by the U.S. and NATO armies is lost, and that Germany will be lost next if the advance of the Russian force towards Kyiv isn't halted quickly by an armistice or partitioning of the country, demilitarization of the country, and that this will give time for Germany to rebuild their army. So, it was very interesting what he said. We're in a proxy war right now with Russia. We don't have a lot of physical people there, but our equipment's there. Some advisors are there. There's special forces there. There's CIA there. There's contractors there that are fighting on the side of the United States to advise the Ukrainian military. This person said, the forklift I use at work is getting old. It needs to be replaced. My company was told there's a 2-year wait list for a new forklift. Unbelievable. I am not a medical professional, so anyone considering the following suggestions should discuss it with their doctor. And I agree, this is not medical advice. Talk to your personal doctor. If children's formulas are not available on the shelf, perhaps an adult Tylenol or ibuprofen could be split and used instead. Again, do not do this without consulting with your pediatrician on types and dosage. Every prepper should have a pill splitter and a pill crusher on hand in their medicine cabinets. They're very cheap. You can pick them up at any drugstore. When I was a kid in the 80s, my mom, a nurse, would give us a pill and a spoonful of jelly to make that easier and tastier to take. Also, medicine like Tylenol is available as a suppository form for infants and adults. That's because sometimes people can't keep medicine down if they got the stomach flu or etc. These meds are kept behind the pharmacy counter. Most people are not aware of this, so when the liquid children's medicine is out, it's possible you may still be able to get it in a suppository form. So, this is not medical advice. Talk to your doctor. My brother works at Dollar General, and the price changes went from twice a month to twice a week, with employees consistently having to raise the prices. Different brands of cigarettes are now going to be discontinued, as well as several food products. There has also been a consistent shortage of milk. When it does come in, which is rarity, it is gone very quickly. A severe string of storms knocked out power to parts of a refining corridor south of the city. And this would be, I think, Louisiana, forcing facilities to flare and at least one chemical facility to have a controlled shutdown. The extent of the damage was still coming in Tuesday night as energy companies began surveying the damage. Many facilities were flaring as a way to release pressure and stabilize the facility. A Shell chemical company in Deer Park said in a statement that the storm knocked out its on-site steam capabilities, resulting in flaring. There is no threat to the community. ExxonMobil said it is beginning to inspect its Baytown facility for potential damage, but that operations are stable. And some of this stuff was done in Texas. So yes, tornadoes can definitely, strong storms can knock out critical infrastructure. Let me go switching gears to Russia and Ukraine and all of the commotion over sending tanks. Russia expressed mounting fury at the prospect of modern Western tanks being sent to Ukraine, calling it extremely dangerous and saying previous red lines were now a thing of the past. Germany announced earlier Wednesday that it is ready to send 14 of their main battle tanks to Ukraine and allow other countries to send their own German-made tanks to Ukraine. The U.S. also expects to announce its own intentions to send Abrams tanks to Ukraine immediately. The use of modern Western tanks by Ukraine is likely to add momentum to its effort to push Russian forces out of the occupied area of the country, particularly in the eastern Donbass region. But Russia sees the gift of a tank as further evidence that the West is fighting what it sees as a proxy war against it in Ukraine. They say this is extremely dangerous. The Russian embassy in Berlin called the German government decision extremely dangerous and said it takes the conflict to a new level of confrontation. They went on and on, but Ukraine is desperate. If the weather continues to get colder and colder, the ground freezes, Russia can then definitely move quicker and faster against Ukraine. It looks like we're going to send 30 of our M1 Abrams tanks. M1 Abrams is an awesome tank. It's a complicated tank. It requires constant maintenance. It uses jet fuel, I believe. So it's going to be hard for them to maintain it on their own. That's why the German tanks are much better for them in the sense that it's less maintenance, easier to repair. So 30 of our M1 tanks look like they're going to the battlefield. Good morning. I live in Miami, Florida. The Miami-Dade Police Department sent out a bulletin letting everyone know that the Department of Defense would be conducting military training in the Miami area January 24th and 25th. Last night, there was a large Chinook helicopter flying over downtown Miami and hovering over the county jail until well after midnight. Lots of military air traffic. They're calling it routine training. I just find that this is suspicious, with supposedly Russian military warships parked off the East Coast and the Russian spy ship parked off the Hawaii coast. We do have an Air Force base less than 10 miles from my house, and there's a naval base in Key West. Just a lot of strange things happening. A lot of people sent me, they saw on YouTube and on the news about a lot of Russian warships carrying weapons surrounding the United States. This is a common thing. There's a lot of movement behind the scenes that we typically don't see. Unless you're in the Navy or the Air Force, you don't even know what's going on. But there's always a cat and mouse game going on. Is there more today? Probably. Just that's because of the conflict that might be spiraling out of control. But it is a normal thing for us to be over there watching them and them to be over here watching us. An illegal alien was caught with enough fentanyl to kill 7 million people in Colorado. Actually, I think it was 6.8, but what's 200,000 people? So he was stopped at a traffic stop after law enforcement spotted the vehicle with phony tags. He was then pulled over, searched, and they found only 15 pounds worth, 60,000 pills, and he also some cocaine and large sums of money. So he's charged with some possessions to intent to distribute. But the flow of illegal drugs are just crossing the border at a rate, I don't know how much is getting through because we're catching a lot. This person said, just had our 2-year-old into the ER for a bit of a crayon up his nose. We had tried the mother kiss method, the bulb, and even tweezers to no avail. Hospital staff used a balloon catheter to easily remove the foreign object. This can be purchased on Amazon for about $50, which is a lot, but perhaps only about 5% of the ER bill that we're getting. Foreign objects can be a cause of deadly infections in a light-out scenario, so being able to remove on your own is important. They gave the actual link to, I guess, what they had used at the hospital, so I'll include that link. They are costly, about $50, but maybe it'll give you an idea where you can look at that and then buy something that would work but more affordable. Wasn't sure if you're already reporting on this, but I've learned today there's a nationwide shortage of magnesium citrate, a once very common over-the-counter treatment for constipation. Weird item to be out of nationwide. Yes, I did talk about this a couple months ago, but I guess it's still a shortage if they're talking about it now. This is from Chandler, Arizona. We've been going to Aldi's for years, and yesterday was the first time there was no eggs at all. They said that their supplier keeps promising deliveries but never follows through. There was a glitch at the New York Stock Exchange yesterday. On Tuesday, it did some problems with the trading. Trading was halted. It was confusions. They did get it fixed. This glitch, the most recent in a series since the flash crash of 2010, impacted stocks of major companies, including like Exxon, 3M, Verizon, McDonald's, Wells Fargo, Walmart. But they did get this problem fixed. But it's every day there's a new attack, a new cyber problem, or just the infrastructure falling apart. Every day you're seeing problems with our infrastructure. Microsoft on Wednesday said it has recovered all of its cloud service after a network outage took down its cloud platform Azure, A-Z-U-R-E, along with services such as Teams and Outlook used by millions around the globe. The service was impacted in America, Europe, Asia Pacific, Middle East, and Africa. Only service in China and its platforms for government were not hit. So let me read that again. Only services in China and its platform for governments were not hit. So that's interesting. Everyone else got hit. China did not. The formula for the CPI, Consumer Price Index, has been routinely altered. Real estate used to be included, but when this was rising too much, they replaced them with rent. When rent started rising, they replaced them with controlled rent. Virtually every government program is automatically indexed to the CPI. Thus, agencies' budgets are automatically increased each year based on the CPI. Your taxes are indexed to the CPI. By reducing the CPI, they collect more taxes. There is nobody in Congress or the Bureau of Labor Statistics that gives the Fed a second thought. Even if we look at inflation using the pre-1980 formula, the CPI is approaching 10%. When we calculate inflation by eliminating everything that is really irrelevant and focus on food, energy, transportation, and taxation, which they do not consider at all, the reality of our numbers come in at 32% for 2022. This is a far cry from the official numbers. This person lives in Huntsville, Alabama area. I go shopping at the end of the week. Eggs are higher here, but seems to have there's enough of them. I was surprised last Tuesday that our Costco had a 5 dozen box for $15.99, which is a great price. Never have I seen this before here in Alabama or when I lived in Arizona or California. I've been shopping Costco since the late 1990s. Aldi's had eggs for $5, but they had a limit on how many you could get. Also, they said gas jumped yesterday 20 cents. 2 weeks ago, it jumped 20 cents. So now it's averaging $3.29. So within a few weeks, it's up 40 cents. The neighbor and a church member had someone try to break in last Saturday night while they were home. We live in a rural area. No one is safe now. Crime reports are through the roof. Just a note about all the people talking about technicians and mechanics ripping them off. My husband is a world-class GM technician, which means he is highly certified, and he works in the automotive field in the South. He's the foreman. You pay a higher rate than most people want to pay when you go to a dealership for a repair. However, you typically get guys that constantly train to keep up with the ever-changing world of mechanics and computers that are in your vehicle. You will usually get a more honest diagnosis from these guys because they have to stand behind their work. The work they do gets registered in a system. They become a service history for your VIN number on your vehicle. I come from a family who is skeptic of dealerships and always thought they were being ripped off. Believe me, being married for this man for 20 years, he's worth the price and often finds the mistakes others have made and corrects them for free because he doesn't want to see someone get hurt driving an unsafe vehicle that he touched. You get what you pay for, and that's true for anything in life. Definitely, all mechanics are not crooks. I have a great mechanic that works on my truck. He doesn't work on my newer car, but he works on my truck, and he's a very honest guy. Highly recommend him. When he tells me a bill, I pay the bill, and I'm happy because it's always a fair price. So all mechanics are not bad. So when I gave some reports of mechanics ripping people off, not all of them are bad. I work in the dental sales and haven't noticed shortage in supplies. However, equipment and technology is slow to come in. The quality of our manufactured repair parts have gone down, causing a lot of problems, especially with sterilizers. Someone said that about their dentist not having toothbrush and toothpaste after a cleaning to be given for free. I can confirm some major vendors have been experiencing disruption. They anticipate it to be fixed by this summer, hopefully. I just went through Kroger's in central Indiana. The milk is low and the eggs are low. A lady stopped by me and returned an item saying it was too much money. Freezer sections are also low. It's obvious the landscape is on a decline. A lot of people, when they go to the grocery store, are now looking at every price because it's important. Things are going up so quick. This came from Forest City, North Carolina. Please put out a notification to the people there to be aware of razor blades being attached to gas pumps. There's been numerous calls about razor blades attached to the handles at different stations. So basically when you grab the gas station pump and you squeeze it, you're going to cut yourself. So be aware when you grab that. Also, there's been an increase of people getting their license plate stolen. So there are some screws you can get. They're anti-theft that you have to have a special tool. It actually might be worth you getting one. If you have a bunch of friends, just get some extra screws and start replacing those so you do not lose your license plate. It could be because insurance, people don't have insurance so they can't get a plate, or just the cost of everything going up. Tractor Supply reports that Tractor Supply chicken feed is causing some chickens to stop laying. A lot of reports on that. So many more, but let me end it there. There's a lot of scary news out there. There's a lot of scary things with the Russia-Ukraine problem. You know what? Do what you can do. Prep what you can prep. Everything else, if you're a Christian, trust in God. If you're not a Christian, you need to get something in your life that you can give a stable base because a lot of people are losing it. There's a lot of stress out there. Thanks for watching.